once you have the circumference, and then calculate the diameter. What is the diameter?
That's true.
Now, once you're done, I want you to take a look at those two numbers. I want you to try to think of a relationship between those two numbers. How is the diameter related to the circumference? How is the circumference related to the diameter? Make sure it goes through the center of the circle. Yeah, that's not in here. Like, that's not in here.
What's the name on there?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were doing it earlier.
We thought about it.
I thought it was a 6. So we got this. Lindsey, what's the author of that book?
All right, on the board. Correct. Wonder. Okay, my first group over here, you girls done?
Yes.
Okay, what did you get for your circumference?
7.5 inches.
And your diameter?
2 7/16 inches.
A brighter color?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, my next group?
Our circumference was 15 3/4 inches. And the diameter was 5 even.
Third group?
Our circumference was 11.5 inches, and the diameter was 3.5 inches.
3.5, you said?
Yeah.
Okay, and my last group?
Circumference was 21 inches, and diameter was 6 3/4 inches.
Okay, now, does anybody find a relationship between your circumference and the diameter? Trying to multiply them together, add them together, yes.
It's like kind of, it's close to 3. If you take the diameter and multiply by 3, you get
If
close
you take the diameter and multiply
by 3,
by 3, you would get,
a number close to the circumference.
okay, so you're saying if I took the diameter multiplied by 3, you get close to the circumference, about, approximately.
Yeah.
Okay, any other group? Did everybody see that kind of relationship? Okay, if you take your circumference, divide by the diameter, everybody, which we couldn't have our children in the class actually do the division, you will get a number close to 3.14, continuing on. Now, does anybody know what that number is? It's pi. So now the children in the class won't know what it is, But once they see, oh, the circumference divided by this diameter is about 3.1. This divided by this is about 3.1. Then they'll see that kind of relationship.
And it's not going to be exact because you wouldn't take, string to measure out, your door frame at home. If you're doing any kind of construction at home, you wouldn't, if you were putting in a new bed or something, you wouldn't take string to measure out to see if it's going to fit through, the doorway. It's not the most exact way of measuring with the string, but if we were able to measure it exactly, it would come out to 3.14.
Exactly, pi. So it's very interesting that you all have different kind of circles, yet the relationship between the circumference and the diameter is always pi. This concept will be very interesting for the children. Now, in this book here, Circumference and the Dragon of Pi, I'm just going to read the measurement for the potion. It says the circles measure. Measure the middle and circle around, so measure the diameter and the circumference. Divide so a number can be found. Every circle, great and small, the number is the same for all. It's also the dose, so be clever, or a dragon, he will stay forever. So him, son Radius, had to find this number, which is pi, which is around 22/7, which is 3 1/7. He had to find that number because he had to give the dragon that dose in order to turn the dragon back into a person. And then at the end, I'm just going to skip right to it. At the celebration, Radius held up a pie and explained what he had discovered. I found out that the outside edge of a circle, called the circumference, is 3 1/7 times as long as the diameter, which is the measure across its middle. It's true for any circle. So that's how, in the story, how they figured out pi. So that's a fun way for the children to figure that out. There you go. So this is pi. Now, what we do in class, I don't know if you remember it this way, but we remember the formula. Cherry pie is delicious for the circumference. Anybody hear that?
No.
Cherry pie is
Apple
delicious,
pie's
apple
good.
pies are too.
Which circumference equals pi times diameter, and then the area is area equals pi r squared. So cherry pie is delicious, apple pies are too. But I would
Apple
always
pies and what?
R2. So this is the formula. This would be like procedurally. But some kids, or even myself, I would be on a test and I'm like, apple pies are delicious. Cherry pies are too. So you don't really understand. But if you did this example with the children where they actually have to figure out the relationship between circumference and diameter, then there's no way that you can mess this up because you'll know it instead of just memorizing a silly formula.
Too many times, teachers just throw those formulas out. Oh, here's a trick to remember. Cherry pie is delicious, apple pies are too. But I mean, myself, I get them confused. I had asked Lindsey a million times while we were doing this. Wait, what are the two formulas again? Because you mix them up. But an activity like this or using literature like this, it really helps the children to internalize these formulas, make sense of them. So that way, when they hear them, they make sense. They're not just simply memorizing them.
So to summarize today, first we discussed the properties of polygons and non-polygons. We focus on a special non-polygon, the circle, because we didn't really talk about it that much.
Yeah, and then just, again, most importantly, by using literature, hands-on activities, like the one we did today, you can effectively teach your class about the parts of a circle and how to calculate the circumference of a circle. Again, just giving meaning to those random formulas up there through hands-on activities and literature.
We just have a little is it me or is this guy talking in circles? So you can incorporate like funny kind of jokes because if the kids don't understand what pi is, they won't understand this joke.
Again, while this is like the funny little humorous thing, I mean, it will help, students understand and internalize the meaning of pi instead of it just being a random symbol to them or a random number. That's it.